Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to today's live session. I'm very excited for the amazing and incredible conversation we're going to have today. Like always, we're on session number 57. And today, I wanted to talk to you about something that I've been noticing coming up as a pattern for people across the world in many different ways. Doesn't matter what their backgrounds are, doesn't matter what challenges they're facing. This is one of the negative patterns that affects almost every single one of us today, even more so in this age where information and access to information is more rampant than ever before. And that pattern, if you've seen the title of this live video and if you've seen the thumbnail as well, is pretty evident. It's called confusion. So many of us on so many different levels are feeling confused and lost about our lives every single day, as if we don't know what to do, we don't know the path forward, we don't know how you can take action steps with clarity to really make a shift happen or to really achieve the goals that we have, and all these other ideas that come up inside our minds. It's like we have an overflow of information, but we have very little execution and action taking that is happening. And it's not just about creativity, it's not just about entrepreneurship, it's not just about building business or posting on social media or all these other surface level things that we connect with being productive or not being confused, taking a lot of action. No. What I'm talking about is even simple things like you made a to do list and then throughout the day, you just couldn't stick to it. Even when you had the clarity on the paper of what you wanted to do, still you ended up feeling confused and lost and just overall as if time is flying by and you have no idea what you're doing with that time. Now, this is on a smaller scale, but on a larger scale, I've had conversations with so many people, from college students to people who've just retired, or to some people who've just recently quit their jobs, or someone who's been laid off, or someone who had a great business but they just sold it off now. So they have the money, but they don't have the clarity of what to do with their lives. They're just sitting there, wondering, thinking, pondering, busying themselves up with things that don't even matter just so they can feel they're doing something. But deep down, they know I don't have any idea what I'm doing. I know I'm taking action. I know I'm just spending my time here and there. But all of that is an escape from themselves, from their own idle thinking. And that is what has made me come to this conclusion and this realization that in today's age, information is full out, information is rampant, clarity is not. Information and advice and suggestions are abundant, but an ability to see through it clearly and make a clear decision, well, that is more scarce than ever. Confusion in every aspect, short term to long term, is just abundant for everybody. But this clarity is what we need, because without this clarity, we cannot be confident. We can show that we are confident, that's a different thing. But deep down, can you feel that confidence? And you will know if you don't have that clarity within, the answer to that question is no. So, as my simple premise for the conversation that we're going to have today, I want to help you understand that this whole pattern that I just described to you, right, of feeling confused, where does this really come from? Because if we don't understand the repercussions of the pattern, then I could just go on, and you'll feel like, what lecture is he on? So, I don't want you to feel that. I want you to know that, yes, this is important for you, this is crucial for you, and here's the reason why this pattern happens. Because once you have that awareness and once you have that clarity of where this is coming from and why, you will be able to create the ultimate result that you want. And so here's the simple way I want you to understand it before I do anything else. So I have this notebook over here, okay? I'm just going to open this last page, for example. And on this last page now, if I take my pen and I try to write something, I can do that pretty easily, right? It's pretty comfortable for me to do it, and I have space here, so I can make it happen. I can write all of that, whatever it is that I may want to write. Now, on the other hand, here's what I'm going to do. I have this another book on my desk, okay? This is a book that I'm reading. I love to read, as you know already, but anyways, That's not the point of this conversation. The point is, let's say I've opened up this random page in the book, okay? Now, here, if on this page I want to write something and I want to write, okay, whatever sentences I'm thinking, let's say I want to write a whole new paragraph here. Is it really possible on a page that has already been printed on? No, it's not. I can try. I mean, I don't want to spoil my book, so I'm not going to do it. But let's say, hypothetically, I write and write and write and write and write, and I write a whole page of whatever it is I wanted to write. Would you be able to read it in this? No, you wouldn't. But the same thing when it is written in a notebook, like I have something written on the first page of the notebook, I'm just opening it here. So, like, I have some random things written here. All of this is readable. Why? Because the page behind is blank. Now, if the page behind is not blank, will it be readable? No. And if it's not readable, if it's not legible, if it's not clear, then what is it creating in your head? Confusion. And if it is creating confusion in your head, can it help you? Can it get you the results that you want? Of course not, because you won't be able to understand what's there on the page, right? Neither you'll understand the things you've written with the pen, neither will you understand the text that is there on the page if you've written right over it any different thing. So it's just not legible. Well, in our lives, there are times that call us to be blank slates. There are times that call us to be blank pages. There are times that call us to surrender everything we may have learned before, to adopt, learn, understand, and work with a completely new approach. And can I tell you the mistake we make, which causes all our confusion? We don't take a plain notebook there. We take a book that's already been printed on. So we learn. Oh, we learn so well. We are experts at learning. We learn all of that. We experience all of that. But does it really stick? And does it clear up our confusion? No. It only adds more to the confusion. It only adds more fuel to the fire. And that, my friends, is the real source of the confusion that you're going through in any area of your life. I mean, any single area. There's a decision that you can make to improve. There's a decision that you can make to change, but you're not able to do that because you're confused. And the reason you're confused is because you're not willing to start at the blank slate. Here's the perfect example I know of that in terms of, let's say, the health area. Let's say you decided, okay, I'm ready. I want to lose weight now. Perfect decision. You made it. Now, there are many different ways you can do it, right? You can try different ideas, you can try different perspectives, you can try different diets, different exercise routines, showing up to the gym or playing a sport, doing yoga, or doing Pilates, or so many more options that you have. But if you're not starting from a blank slate there, and rather you're starting from this, I tried it last time, it didn't really work. I went to that nutritionist also. I got the whole diet plan made, but you know how nutritionists are. They don't really know the reality of cooking in Indian households. They don't really know that you don't have enough time to do it. So, yeah, they give me a very unrealistic plan that I just could not follow. And all these thoughts are already coming up as the blocker and as the creator of the confusion. Now, rather than writing something of that new idea on a blank slate, on a blank page, you're using your mind and you're using the book of your mind and the pages that are filled with limiting beliefs and doubts and frustrations, and using them to write about your future, to write about the clarity you want, to write about the success you want to create. It won't happen. Of course there is confusion. Of course there's this whole thing that's going on where every single day you feel lost, because rather than having a blank slate and a clear open perspective to life, you're bringing in all your old experiences, you're bringing in all your old beliefs, you're bringing in all your old ideas to such an extent that today I'm sure you've probably gotten to the stage where some of your beliefs and some of your ideas, they've become so intertwined with your own truth that you've stopped seeing them as beliefs and started assuming them as absolute truths. It's either this or that. There's no in between. The in between is where your satisfaction lies. The in between is where your growth, your happiness, everything that you want lies. But to tap into that in between space, right, between this old life or between this new life or whatever the dichotomy is inside your head, you need to be able to be comfortable with admitting that you were wrong. You need to be able to be comfortable with yourself. You need to be comfortable with the fact that whatever happens and whichever situations come up, you are the one who has to deal with them. And in that moment, when there's a challenge or when there's a crisis, if you're not looking at a blank slate of opportunity and only looking at a covered slate of blame and regret and guilt and frustration and so on, and that's all you're writing about on and on, that's all you're writing over, until and unless you don't erase that old slate, you cannot write something new. So, for the source of your confusion, which comes up regardless of how many books you read or actions you take, is this: you are living this life. You are living this confusion where the source is coming from within you, where you are not honest with yourself and you are not willing to look at situations from a more neutral perspective rather than just this is what my perspective is and this is what is right. I give you the health example there, right? If you're just thinking about all the ways the diet has gone wrong or exercise has gone wrong, you'll never be able to lose weight. There will be so much internal resistance. You will lose track. You will lose effort. You will lose consistency. But that's not what we want. So instead, let's say if you look at the goal from the lens of curiosity instead, and from the lens of joy, and from the lens of exploring how far your body can go. Now, isn't that a completely different lens? Isn't that a completely different perspective on the same situation? And now, when you think about it here, with a blank slate of curiosity and possibility, rather than a slate of confusions and all the past things that are filled, it does become a bit easier to think about action steps, doesn't it? It does become a bit easier for you to think about all the things that are there, to think about all the ways you are blocking your own progress. But all that requires you to do is be a blank slate, like a paper, like someone who's starting a new chapter. The more you can practice this, the easier it will be for you to get rid of your confusion, the easier it will be for you to start becoming your best self. And so here's what I want you to do in this week as you deal with this confusion, as you deal with this source that we've just identified. Is it okay if I give you all an exercise? Because I believe exercises are powerful as well. They really help you take action and make things happen. So here's a simple exercise that I want you to do. Since I used a pen and paper example, I'll pick that up again. And here's what I would like you to do to really see how powerful the idea of starting with a blank slate is. Every single day, not before while you sleep. Okay, this is the crazy part that I want to introduce you to. I'm just opening a new page here to give you that clarity. So, for example, you're starting out a new day, right? Try this experiment for 1 week. In the morning, set an intention for what you want throughout the day, because if you set the right intention, that's the energy that aligns. And then, second thing, write about what you want from the day. Fill the sheet up a bit. Be a more conscious and aware about how you're spending your time and where it's going, and are you really fulfilled in the way it's going. And then at the end of the day, come back to the same sheet. It doesn't have to be a very long thing, a 5-minute activity at max, and see where all were you left, where all were you confused, where all were the challenges. Write them down and done. That is it. Just let it be in your awareness. The next day, new page again, no looking at the past, and you start by working on an intention for the day, deciding to follow through with it, then everything that you want to do, then everything you got done or did not get done. Now I'm sure you're probably thinking, well, Prabhsimrat, this is exactly like any other to-do list exercise, right? Well, no, it's not. This is data collection. This is the power that such reflection exercises hold. Every single day, as you write this, right? Maybe in 7 days, maybe in 14 days, you'll start noticing a pattern in the things that are left behind. And you will notice it's the things that you are left behind in that are creating the most confusion for you. And the reason they're creating the most confusion for you is because in your mind, you have had a very clear demarcation of what is that's supposed to be done, and you're just holding on to that small limited set of beliefs rather than expanding, rather than being a blank slate with curiosity where a new story can be written. So try this experiment. In 7 days, here's what will happen, or max to max in 14 days. In everything that's left behind, the pattern will start emerging. You will start seeing your own resistances and confusions up front, provided you're willing to be a bit honest with yourself and really see what's happening, really see where all those challenges are coming from. You see, awareness is the first step to change. And the source of our confusion is simple. We've never really even had a conversation with ourselves. And because of that, how can we feel clear? How can we feel honest? How can we feel like we're being our best selves? We cannot. So start this exercise. Try it out for a bit. See what happens as you become more intentional and mindful and replace judgment with curiosity. You will be amazed at how clearly and how quickly the fog just melts away and your path in life emerges for you, not out of some random stroke of luck, but because you decided to build it today and every day. Thank you so much for being here. I hope the session was helpful. And I'll see you once again tomorrow at the same time, that is 8:30 p.m. IST. See you soon. Bye.